Quentin Tarantino was influenced by the scene from Better Tomorrow throughout all of the gun scenes. Quentin considered John Woo to be a legendary Hong Kong action director that influenced his movies. When watching A Better Tomorrow, he was so impressed by one of the shooting scenes that he considered it to be one of the biggest shootouts in history of film. He was so impressed that he wanted to make a movie that had a similar aspect. Quentin loved how the movie ended in a big scene. He believed that if it did not end in a big finishing scene, then it would have been for nothing to watch it and there would have been no purpose for the movie. Just as in Pulp Fiction, he ended the movie with a big robbery scene where there were many events that led up to that moment. There were multiple gun and fight scenes similar to John Woo's ideas that led to the robbery. One of the scenes that was influenced by John Woo was when Jules and Vincent went to collect the briefcase. When they walked into the room, they went in with such confidence, just like the actor from A Better Tomorrow, and taunted the men into getting what they wanted. Once they opened fire upon them, they used the same exact technique where they were shooting rapidly at the men in order to get what they wanted. But there was also a similar slow motion aesthetic that Quentin utilizes within that scene that came from the scenes of John Woo's movies. Another scene that was also influenced by John Woo was his movie was the chasing scene between Butch and the mafia boss. This scene included slow motion shooting, which was a main idea in Woo's movies. There was also a stunt that started the scene, which was Butch driving straight into the mafia boss, and the boss flying over the windshield of the car. This scene is important because it uses the same chasing ideas where there was gunfire in order to try and stop the person, but then ultimately within the scene they were both captured by a third party. Another scene that was similar to Woo was when they got the briefcase back and they had the hostage in the back of the car. Vincent shot him, and within the scene it was similar to John Woo in the aspect that it was very gory and contained a lot of blood and guts. The scene is similar to Woo because in his movies he utilized over-the-top shooting. When Vincent shot him in the car, it was over the top and unnecessary death. Just like Woo, within the scene they used multiple angles to show what was happening. In my view, this influence changed the direction of American cinema in the 1990s because more and more directors wanted to make their fight scenes similar to the man who created one of the biggest shootouts in cinema in the 1990s. This influence of slow motion shootouts and chasing scenes created movies that people believed to be more exciting to watch. More people started to use the idea of multiple camera angles to create shootout scenes that were more entertaining to watch because it slows it down, creating an emphasis on the scene. By slowing it down, it makes the scene seem more important to the viewer. It makes it memorable. And these stunts and violence, which were mainly used in Woo's movies, have created an impact on other films, especially within the American cinema.